must pay homage to him.
Okay, there we go. BP Hero Podcast. I need to turn that up. Okay, there we go. That's much better. I was sitting here talking to myself and quickly realized that I did not have my microphone set up. So I was literally just talking into the abyss. But nonetheless, what's up, Freddie? How you doing, buddy? BP Hero Podcast, Season 7, Episode number 15. Just grinding away. Weekly episodes. If you're catching up with this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify after the fact, do know that a decent part of this podcast is going to involve visual aid because we are live on YouTube, and that's where the show is recorded. So the best thing I can tell you is head over to the BP Hero Podcast. It actually has a channel itself. Don't go to the YouTube channel of thebphero.com or the standard BP Hero channel where we post our reviews. You're going to need to go over to the BP Hero Podcast on YouTube. It is a separate channel now, and you can catch up with it there because the hot topic of this podcast tonight is going to involve a visual aid. What's up, Jason? How you doing? John Hancock, good evening, sir. And if you're in touch with the softball world at all, then honestly, there's a decent chance that you know what we're about to talk about. So, Jason, honestly, I just need to get a system in place for, like, recording this. So, like, what I would ideally like to do is get these to where I can do them on Wednesday night and then have them ready to post Thursday morning. And essentially what that entails is it's going to take me, I can't download the episode as soon as I'm done with it. I have to let YouTube process and do its thing with it before I can download it because I'm pushing it straight to YouTube Live. I don't know what recording and broadcasting at the same time would do to my computer. It's not going to like blow anything up. I just don't know how my computer would handle that. And I've been doing this with my computer unplugged for the last 4 or 5 episodes. Sometimes I just get tired of sitting at my desk. Right now I'm sitting at my dining room table with my podcast microphone, my boom arm, and everything set up. I'm running my laptop on its battery, and it lasts as long as I need it to. So he said, let's find out. So I don't know how long it would last running the broadcast software as well as recording, but nonetheless, I can also make it a point to maybe get up Thursday mornings and get it downloaded and then get it uploaded to Spotify or anywhere else. It takes no time at all, as long as it's an audio one. If it's the video one, it takes so long. It takes so long for those to download. Because, I mean, it's an hour or something worth of video. So it takes a decent bit to get that downloaded. And then to render it and everything else isn't bad at that point. Because I go into my editing software and cut the video out. Just save the audio clip itself. But maybe that's something I need to do. Maybe I just need to make it a point to get up on Thursday mornings and upload them. So you can expect it like Wednesday night here and Thursday morning on Spotify. I think I'm still like an episode behind there as well. I still got season. I said season like we don't know what season we're on. So I've still got episode 13 that I need to do. Episode 14 is on there, but it's not live. You can't access it. but I need to get season 7, episode 13 done, because that was the one that Gabe and I did a video thing with. So it took a while to download that one. Nonetheless, I'm rambling. I'm going to stop that now. But maybe I'll make it a point to try and get that done. I do know that I have been getting a decent amount of downloads, and honestly, I'm a freaking bum, man. I haven't really pushed the fact real hard that this is now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but each episode is averaging like 20 downloads. So, I mean, there's something there. There's something there as far as people finding out, word spreading around, whatever you may have it. So that's cool. I like to see that. That means you guys are listening to what I have to say. That means you guys want to listen to what I have to say by downloading the podcast. It's an overall good situation, right? It's an overall good situation. Is music okay tonight? By the way, always mean to ask if I've been messing with my sound settings at all. If the music still sounds okay. Thad, what's up, buddy? He says my game got canceled so I can finally listen live. Well, hey, man. Glad you're here. So glad you're here. We're going to do our usual. We're going to wait a few more minutes here, let everybody kind of get filed in, talk about a couple of things, and then we're going to get to the meat and taters of this podcast. Good old meat and taters. Jason says, where's this listen live? Do you want to miss them live? At Nick Ray, what's up, dog? Hi, Gio. How you doing, buddy? Hey, and everybody, while we're sitting here letting everybody file in, if you know what I'm about to say, just go ahead and do it. But if not, go share this around. Post it on Facebook. Post it here. Post it there. I don't care where you post it. Spread the word, right? So I'm going to go here. I have 2 new messages. I'll get to those afterwards. So I'm posting mine on the BP Hero Facebook page. And for those of you just tuning in, live here, that is. Tony says another food episode. Good for you, probably. No. I tell you what, it'll be the meat and taters of the podcast. Ain't nobody eating. Somebody might be getting ate up. That's up for discussion. But nonetheless, like I said, if you're just tuning in, we'll cover a couple of small topics first before we move into what I'm sure everybody's here for if you see the title of the podcast. Where's everybody playing at this weekend? What do they got going on? Nick Ray, am I playing at the Smoke Show this weekend? We are not. It's not real big on driving that freaking far to play in softball tournaments anymore. I'm not going to lie to you. Gio shared it on Facebook. My man. Yeah, I don't know. Call me old, call me whatever. I don't even know. We didn't even put it on the schedule. Yeah. So we're playing, let's see, what is, I got to look at the schedule here. Is it next weekend? Yeah, we're playing next weekend at the lake, playing C at the lake. Try anyway. We'll see what happens. Hopefully there's enough of a turnout that we can get some games in. We got a good little ball squad. Listen, what am I talking about? We got a good little ball team. We just got to find somewhere to play. Everything we show up to, nobody signs up. Sorry, not we show up to. Everything we sign up for, nobody else signs up. That kind of thing. Or it gets rained out. We've had 2 rainouts. Had 2 that didn't have enough C teams. I mean, we should have been 4 tournaments in the season already. But instead, we're just 1. It's frustrating, but you learn to live with it, right? So, Nick, you guys are playing out there, I'm assuming. I see Quentin tagged me in some shenanigans on Facebook. I assume that meant that you guys are playing. Who all is going to the smoke show this weekend? Hopefully the people that are there get credit for the content they make. And it's not just a bunch of screen grabs with no credit given to the original content creator. If you know, you know. Filming with a team, you guys aren't playing. Ain't nothing wrong with going out there and hanging out. Filming and doing your thing. Will you be live on Facebook then, I'm assuming? Better see Q there after those shenanigans. Yeah, no lie. Q's out here blowing you up. He better be there, right? Maybe we'll do some game broadcasts this weekend. I don't know. All right. Okay, 2 seconds here. Get a little list of topics pulled up. Then we're diving straight in, head first. Full send, we're going for it. It's kind of funny. So I was talking with a friend of mine and just kind of discussing... Oh, man, I'm trying to think of the right words to use here. Yeah, Jason, the shot heard around the world. Yeah. Man, I got to choose my words wisely sometimes. Sometimes I just get to talking and then realize like I might kind of paint myself into a corner. One thing I've always tried to do on this podcast is try and stay in my lane. Like, I can greatly appreciate the fact that you guys appreciate my opinions and you value my opinions. And I am of full belief that everybody should have an opinion. And it's okay that they all don't agree. But what I don't like is when people try to argue and change minds. Like, respect the fact that someone can have a different opinion. You know? Like cheese pizza. Don't make fun of me. You guys make fun of me all the time. But that's what I like. It's not my favorite, but it's a good way to get a read on a pizza. And it's a good pizza. Don't try and push me and change my mind. And that's one thing that frustrates me sometimes. When it comes to mentalities of softball players, mentalities of people in life. Just a lot of things. It is frustrating, but one thing that's kind of been eye-opening, I'm not going to get too far down that road right now. But one thing that's been eye-opening over this last couple of years is just the respect of people and the respect they give each other on the field. Respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Respect. Gotta imagine if I said that wrong. Whether it be, you know, people wanting to be just dirtbags and mouth people, or whether it be trying to injure a player with a dirty slide, or take them out on the base path, or, you know, trying to... I've seen it all. I've seen guys try and take people out at second base sliding, third base sliding, home plate sliding. I've seen people overrun a bag just to run into someone. I've seen people step on a first baseman's leg as the first baseman stretched out for the ball. I've seen people try and hit pitchers. I mean, this last couple of years, these last two, I would say even 2 or 3 years, it's just been crazy, man. we have to get back to the root cause and like figure out why is this happening? Why is everyone so okay with disrespecting? I don't even know if you could call it the game. I guess yes, you could say you're not playing the game the right way. Whatever you want to say, however you want to dice it. What happened to respecting people as human beings? Like when you're on a ball field and you're competing, there's nothing saying you can't be passionate about the way you compete. But like, you can be passionate about things and not treat people like shit. You know? Name me any other hobby that anyone has that's not softball and see if they treat the other people that are involved in that hobby, sharing that time in that hobby, sharing the same hobby, and see if they just treat them like shit. They probably don't. A lot of places don't. So why do people think it's okay to show up and do that on a ball field? The flashy whoops, the bat flips, I know people that flip the bat so much when they hit a ball, they don't even realize they do it anymore. Flashy, cool, whatever makes social media. This person can talk about, oh, well, guess what happened with that? Oh, well, did you hear what this person did? Watch this clip. Check out what this guy did. This guy tried hitting this pitcher this many times in a row. Why? Why has the game evolved to such a thing that it's like part of the game and it's what people want to talk about, however you want to consider it, that disrespect is accepted. It puzzles me. It extremely puzzles me that you could show up and yell and act like a clown and cuss and yell at people. I've even seen guys just fly off the handle for a team. Now, understand me. There is celebrating, and then there's celebrating and going over the top with two intentions. One, maybe you did get a little carried away with your celebration, and two, like there is celebrating to the point that like you are trying to rub it in and prove a point, right? But like a team's having a big inning, they're excited, they're pumped up, they're cheering, they're jiving, they're laughing, they're having fun. And just because you're in the field on the receiving end of that, you feel the need to just act out and act like a fool. Why? But that's becoming such a thing, it's just frustrating. People suck sometimes. Gio, I believe that. You probably do on the bat flip when you hit dingers off me. A lot of people do. It's not hard to hit a dinger off me, so don't act like that's some kind of big feat either. Oh, I see you deleted your message now. Yeah, Q, Q, that's what I'm saying. Like, here lately, Q says, we've been getting weird looks when a guy gets a hit and I tell him good swing at these bigger tournaments. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, I understand that, like, you're on a ball field, you're competing. You're not there to make friends, right? I tell people that. I'm not at the ball field to make friends. I'm not playing these softball games to make friends. But, God, man, pull your head out of your ass. Hey, man, good swing. Hey, good ball. Hey, good play. It's been, before I've really noticed this and it really bothered me, we were at a tournament one time, and this shortstop made a play in the hole. It was ridiculous. This guy was fresh out of baseball. If I remember correctly, it's been probably 6 or 7 years ago, maybe longer than that. Fresh out of baseball, he was a great baseball player at the time, and things just didn't work out. He gets into slow pitch, and he's already playing with a good team. Dude makes a play on a ball in the hole. It was a sharp, low line drive. Took one hop. He snags it, turns around on his butt, and fires it to second base to start up a double play. And I was one of the guys that got doubled off, so I'm jogging back across the field to go to the third base dugout. It was only 2 outs. The inning was still going on. I said, hey, man. I said, good play. I said, that was fucking sick, bro. Like, it was insane. Like, everybody in the park was like, oh, damn. And all he did was look at me and say, yeah, there's more where that came from. Keep them coming. Like, looked me dead in the eye and said that. Just take a compliment, you asshole. But stuff like that all the time. All the time. People just begging for it. They get off on that. Get off on acting like an asshole. Imagine being that way. Sportsmanship. Sharing the hobby. You can share the hobby with someone by saying, hey, good ball. That was a great swing. Well, that's not what I wanted. You know, that's okay if the batter says that. Yeah, hey, man, yeah, that's not what you wanted. I mean, still a hell of a ball. Yeah, you mean, thanks, man. Or just say thanks and move on. You don't have to stare somebody down because they said nice hit. You don't have to pretend they don't fucking exist. Say thanks, tip your cap. If you don't want to talk to them, tip your cap and go do whatever. If you're standing on the bag, tip your cap, move on. But no, we have to act like assholes. We have to make everything into a big production. We have to whoop every ball we hit. We have to flip our bats. We have to strut around the bases. It's just incredible to me. Absolutely incredible. I'm rambling. We're just going to get into the meat and taters here. Let me get my screens fixed. Okay, so don't judge my stuff here. Okay. Oh gosh. All right, so how's this gonna work? I don't even know what some of this shit is. Why is that in here? See what I'm saying? All right. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, so what we've got here, if you're not aware, I'm going to kind of fill you in as we go, is Resmondo is in the field. EPT is hitting. John Williams is at the plate. I'm assuming if you're in touch with softball to some capacity, I'm going to turn this music off. I'm assuming if you're in softball to some capacity or you follow it at all, you probably are aware of the situation. But if you're not, then the names probably aren't relevant either. But I'm going to use all the names just for the sake of the matter, okay? So what's about to take place here, and I do find it funny that they changed the title of the video. I just seen that. So it used to say bench is clear after pitcher gets hit in helmet, yada, yada. Now it says helmets protect, trying to promote safety. But here's my problem with that. Here's my big problem with that. Is you're not promoting safety, right? Hang on, I gotta adjust something here. Stand by, kids. Okay. Jason, it's not the internet. I've got the video paused, so I can sit here and kind of get everybody kind of clued in on what's going on here. So Resmondo versus MPT. They've changed the title of this video now, but essentially what's about to happen is the pitcher's about to get hit in the helmet. I'm going to play this video one time, not through its entirety, because once you get to a certain point, it's just people over yelling on the side and he said, she said, back and forth yelling. You can't even see what's going on. So I'm going to play this through one time, let you watch it, and then I'm going to go back and kind of break down where I think the situation went south, what things could have been done differently, and just a few different things that I felt did not contribute to how the situation unfolded in a good way. Sorry, unfolded about, you know what I'm saying. So let's go ahead and play this. We're going to play it through. What do you mean you can't see, Tony? What's wrong? All right, so now that the controversy has made its way off the field, you've basically seen everything there is to see here. Because all the yelling, all the screaming is mostly inaudible, and the fact you can't see what's going on, it's just a bunch of pushing and shoving. To my understanding, not a single punch was thrown in all the skirmish that you see off the field. It's pushing, it's shoving, it's yelling, it's name calling, it's insults, it's do something about it, it's I'm the wrong one, it's, you know, you don't want these problems, it's we're going to fuck you up. So let's go back. And I do think after sitting here doing this would be a decent idea for a video to do on my main channel to kind of discuss this a little bit. So I'm going to go back and play this, and I'm going to stop this where I feel like the first thing has gone wrong. Okay. I like Big John. I don't know the guy personally. I spoke to him in passing a couple of different times. I say in passing. When I say in passing, I mean on Facebook Messenger. He and I have exchanged some messages back and forth. He's been on my channel. He'll chime in on my channel, poke his head in here once in a while. Always giving love. I got nothing ill to say about the guy. I don't even know the guy personally. Say a ton about him. But I just don't feel like it's the right play to run all the way to third base. I understand we're competing. I understand that these players are here getting paid to play. I understand the name of the game is win. and all these other things that go along with this. I understand that these are essentially professional athletes in terms of what softball regards as professional, right? But and John's not the only one here. I'm not naming everybody. Obviously, the main conflict is John and Record, and you got Travis Clark involved, Flip Wash, all these players. But to me personally, even knowing the magnitude of the game, whether you're up or down by a bunch of runs, stop there. Okay, so second thing here. Where I feel like our second thing that's gone wrong here. It is the umpire's job to call balls and strikes. It is the umpire's job to call safe and out. It's the umpire's job to use discretion. And personally, my opinion, this is my opinion. I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I was not there. I can't hear everything that's being said. But home plate umpire has obviously got this situation here under control. This call at third base. This first base umpire needs to be moving in on this bat. If, to my understanding, if Record leaves the game, then the bat is confiscated and tested and the whole 9 yards gets done, right? So the umpire's got to get this situation here with this bat under control. Has to be. This umpire, instead of standing here and watching this play unfold, needs to move in on this bat before Travis Clark gets a chance to pick the bat up. Because now we've got another team handling the bat. And, I understand that it's a shock of the moment, and there's a lot of different things going on here. Maybe the umpire is, they don't just take any umpires, right? These are great umpires. But maybe this is something that he hasn't been exposed to. It's a no-shit moment for everybody on the field. This man just got blasted in the side of the head. It's not like it's, Judy punching me, tipping the radars at 90 miles an hour. He just got hit in the head with a 110-mile-an-hour rocket by a behemoth of a human being. So there's some wow factor to go on here. And maybe this is a learning experience for everybody involved. But this umpire, any umpire, somebody's got to do something to get this situation under control. Travis Clark should not be picking this bat up. So, again, as this is unfolding here, I'll let it play while I talk. Whether anything is verbally exchanged between the umpires and Record, do not know. Sure doesn't look like it. But I'm going to stop this here because we're getting ready to have our first altercation here. But from what I can see, neither one of these umpires, hey, you okay? You doing all right? If this is me, I'm stopping the game. I'm stopping the game on the spot. And the first thing I'm doing, if I am the home plate umpire, is either way, communicating. Doesn't matter who's doing what. You got two umpires. You got one that's going to get the bat situation under control, and the second one needs to go check on the well-being of the player. I understand he's not a field nurse. I understand, he's no first aid, but this is your field. You're in control of this field. Get the bat under control and go check on the player. I'm approaching this player. I understand we got managers and everything talking. I want this player to engage with me and look at me and say, are you okay? I'm going to give you a minute. Obviously, as you can see, he takes his time, whether it's him gathering himself, whether it's the coaches knowing he needs a minute, regardless of the situation. the umpire's got to take control here, check on the player, get the bat under control, and give the player a minute. You let me know when you're ready. I mean, obviously, if you're hurt, you're going to leave the game. He did not. So he just needs a minute, right? The guy just got blasted in the side of the fucking head. So, moving on to our next situation that's developing here. Obviously, you can't hear what's going on, but we've got... Here comes Flip, moving in. Flip sees that Clark has picked the bat up. So now starts the cat and mouse game of the bat. Clark sees he's reaching for it. Flip goes around the other way. Clark's like, no, not having it. So now this discussion takes place. And from what I can tell, it looks like both umpires are now focused on the bat. Okay, are you focused on the bat because it's the bat, or are you focused on the bat because these two are arguing about it? You can't hear what they're saying, but I'm sure that tensions being the way they are, this probably isn't a friendly conversation, right? So essentially now the umpires are getting involved saying, you know, you got to give him the bat. You can't have the bat. You don't need the bat. Whatever they're saying to him, Clark gives the bat up. Flip turns around. Little extra. Flings it out of here. Now, here's where this situation goes south. I personally, I think the situation went south right here. The fact that Clark has the bat. Again, nothing against Clark either. But, and I understand his perspective. If you know me, you watch the podcast, you watch the videos. I am a huge promoter of safety in the game. Safety in the game, checks and balances, keeping people under control, keeping shit in line. Real big on all this stuff. Am I saying that I wouldn't have done the same thing? I don't know that I go pick the bat up, but you believe you me, I am in the umpire's ear about getting the bat picked up. Pick the bat up, get the bat. I've done it before. The play's not even over. I'm talking to the umpire to go grab the bat. Get that bat picked up. You need to get the bat. You need to get the bat. And I've seen this situation before where somebody comes running out of the dugout, grabs the bat, and runs back in the dugout with it. You can't do that in the conference. The conference, all the bats are confiscated. When you turn your bat in to be tested, it goes in the bucket. The buckets go in and out of the field, and it's the umpire's jobs to get directors, the staff, whatever you want to call it. It's their job to get the bats on and off the fields, right? To my understanding, if the bat goes in the dugout, the bat is ineligible for play. So that can't happen here, but I have seen before where guys will go running out, grab a bat, and run back into the dugout with it. Or the classic, the second somebody questions a bat, it disappears. I've seen it both ways. I've seen it where somebody will put it in their bag and you won't see it again the rest of the day. I've seen it where, hey, get this out of here. They'll go run, hand it to somebody behind the fence, and somebody behind the fence runs it to their car. So I get where Clark is coming from with what he's got going on here. But, man, again, the play is over. Put the bat down, hand the bat to him, walk it out there to him. But the cat and mouse game, I feel like, was what probably escalated a lot of this, just from this standpoint here. Flip wants it. Clark's not giving it up. Again, understandable. Take it to the umpire. Flip takes it. Do we need this? Do we need this humongous throw to the fence to really prove a point? Passive aggressive, whatever you may want to call it. He didn't really use his words. Maybe he did. Who knows? But throwing the bat like that sparks the reaction. Clark, because I'm sure, again, there's words being involved here. But again, this starts the argument. This engages the argument. You know, Clark saying, why are you out here? And then Flip saying, well, why do you have the bat? Both great questions. Nobody's in the wrong in this argument as far as that's concerned. Why does Flip need to be out here? Why does he feel so threatened to go run and grab the bat? What's he got to hide, right? It's not like he's going to take it, run in the dugout with it. But then on the same side, you know, you got to look at this from both ways, guys. You have to look at this from both ways. Again, I feel like I harped on it for too long, but he doesn't need to have the bat in his hands. So tensions are building. You know, you've got Record out here gathering himself. You got all his guys around him, just trying to like probably gain a little consciousness of what happened. You look up and you see them arguing. John's on third. From what you can tell, not saying a word. Now they're arguing. But tensions are doing nothing but building right here. Tensions are doing absolutely nothing but building. And again, I understand that the umpires aren't field nurses, they aren't medics, they aren't first responders. But again, go have a conversation with this man that just got hit in the head. It's not like he got hit in the leg. It's not like he got hit in the foot. He didn't get hit in the arm. He got hit in the head. Go have a conversation with this man. You good? You ready to go? You want to throw a couple of pitches? No. And again, maybe it's the shock of the situation. But tensions are high. Look like we're still having a conversation over here. Record, absolute animal. I mean, I'm talking, I think, just on some of the stories that I've heard about this guy, in this situation right here, in its entirety, this man just gets right back on the mound and throws another pitch. Gamer, you'd have to kill this guy to get him to stop fighting. That's my personal feeling on this. Just real quick, checking the comment section here. Randy Underwood says, what's the point of the bat? They can check the bats. You think that guy needs a dirty bat? He can smash with anything. I'm not arguing that point. I'm not arguing that point at all. Like, John Williams is clearly proven over the years that he can hit. All these guys, let's be honest, all these guys can hit with anything. But you got to keep the game honest, Randy. I mean, that's what it's about to me. You got to keep the game honest. You just have to. So again, let's rewind here. In fact, Record's the one that gets hit in the head. He's not mouthing. He's not saying a word to anybody. You can hear, again, this is all my perspective. But look. Walks by, the guy that just dotted him in the head doesn't say a word. John doesn't say anything to him. So Clark, passionate player, absolute dog, is fired up. Here comes John across the field. So, circling back to the fact that Clark is handling John's bat, I'm sure John's annoyed that Clark is handling John's bat, because what's this kind of say, right? Is Clark trying to say, hey, there's something wrong with this bat, get it out of here? Because if he is, and it is in fact clean, and John knows it's clean because it's John's bat, John has the right to be annoyed, right? But at the same time, Clark's a dog. Clark's standing up for his guy. Clark's trying to take control of the situation because it looked like nobody else was going to, right? Again, we're mouthing, we're barking, we're yelling. Not saying this stuff wouldn't have happened. Very well could have happened. But what took place right here on this first baseline with this bat from both parties did nothing to help this whole situation. And then kind of the gasoline on the fire, right? The fact that John is the third baseman and he's got to go over here and stand next to this dugout. Tensions are high for a multitude of reasons. And maybe there's more backstory than what any of us know. Who knows? But everybody's taking the field. Here comes John. John's doing his thing. And John's a dog too, man. He ain't going to back down from nobody. If you know John at all, you know that. You follow him on social media. Kind of keep track of what he's doing. He's not going to back down. You're mouthing him, he's going to mouth you back. And I'm also going to tell you something. This man right here, he's got one swing on his mind. It's not who he is. It has nothing to do with who he is. It has nothing to do with anything besides the fact that he's another one that's going to stand up for his guy. So again, things are unfolding here. Grumble and mumble, and you got John getting involved. Now here comes John. John takes the glove off. Talking about bumping gums and yelling. Bench is clear. And from here, it's just a bunch of hoopla, yelling. You literally can't hear a word anybody's saying. The one thing that you hear, and I don't know the exact clip, so I'm not going to sit here and try and find it, make you sit through that. But basically, the coaches, I said I wasn't going to try and find it, but it's kind of relevant to the situation here. Turning this up. Headphone warning.
Let's just make it fucking easy. You're all out. We're all out. Because you have no fucking clue what's going on here. You should stop it an hour ago. Throw him out by stroke. I don't have a problem with that stroke. I have no problem with that stroke. Then everybody's got to go because everybody's on their fucking mouth. Both sides. It's ridiculous. They say a goddamn word. All right, excuse me. Everybody say that. I ain't said a fucking word. Well, now you have. Now you have. He goes too. Here we go. All you guys are fighting. I'm the motherfucker out here to hit.
Yeah, you hear records say it right there, if you can hear it. You know, the coaches are saying, so basically at this point, ejections are being handed out. It's a matter of who's being ejected, how many players, who did what, who they're going to eject. The umpires have lost control of the situation at this point, right? So, record standing back here, everybody's arguing. Now they're talking about throwing everybody out of both sides and everything else. And Record said, he said it, you hear him repeating himself. Let's track back here.
Stop it an hour ago. Throw him out by stroke. I don't have a problem with that stroke. I have no problem with that stroke. Then everybody's got to go because everybody's on their fucking mouth. Both sides. It's ridiculous. They say a goddamn word. All right, excuse me. Everybody say that. I ain't said a fucking word. Well, now you have. Now you have. He goes too. Here we go. All you guys.
And I do enjoy this too. Records back here saying, you know, I'm the one that got hit in the head, and I haven't said a word.
Both sides. It's ridiculous. They say a goddamn word. All right, excuse me. Everybody say that. I ain't said a fucking word. Well, now you have.
So he says, I haven't said a fucking word. And then Flip just goes, now you have. Maybe the wrong time for that kind of humor, but I did find humor in that. I chuckled the first time I reacted to this. But let's all take away from this fact that everybody's yelling, everybody's screaming, everybody's mad, pointing, shoving, pushing, yelling. The guy that got hit in the head has never said a word through this whole thing. He's ready to move on. He's ready to move on. Whether it's the fact that he knows that payback will be had, whether it's the fact that he's over it, he's ready to be done with it. You know, shit happens, you move on. And then, because I've heard so many different sides of this, right? I've heard that there might be, tensions building from other situations that have happened. This isn't the first person that John's hit in the head this year, or John has hit this year, whatever, yada, yada. And, there's bad blood between them from years past or other stuff that happened this season. But the guy that got hit is ready to move on. At least for the moment, right? Why can't we just, hey, check on our guy? If you play tournament softball in any capacity, you've been in a situation where tensions have flared because of someone's pitcher is being hit at, right? You look at the pitcher and say, hey, you good? Because if you're not, we got your back, right? But the pitcher's just let it go. We'll just do our thing. Or whether it's the other team feels the need to hit back, which, again, wasn't the premise of my rant earlier, but kind of comes full circle in the fact that, it happens, yeah. Do you got to defend your guy? Sure. But every one of these guys needs to wake up tomorrow and go do something. Every person you see in this shot needs to wake up and go do something the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that. They've got families. They've got jobs. They have lives. They've got things outside of softball. You just got to move on, right? I understand that tempers flare, but here's the other thing with this is on USSSA Live. It's on their YouTube channel. Credit to them for the video, sure. Who knows? Maybe this will get taken down because I'm using their video. I don't care. But we're done with this video. I'm switching scenes. So you can look away if you happen to be watching this for that reason. But what's this promote? USSSA has this on YouTube. It's obviously floating around all these Facebook pages. And for the record, by the way, this game resulted in a double forfeit. For those that didn't know. Both teams, to my knowledge, were essentially declared to not have enough players to continue the game. But by posting things like this, I personally, this is just me, but I personally feel like you're promoting this in a way. Right? Look what happened. Look what happened playing U-Trip softball this weekend. Instead of... I'm not saying we got to brush it under the rug. I'm not saying that we need to make it go away and pretend it never happened. But just this type of content is just not good for the game. If you're going to post something like this, post a discussion about it. Hey, you need to have somebody elaborate on what happened afterwards. Have somebody elaborate on the things that were said. And yeah, Tony, I think that this could be potentially a part of the dying softball puzzle. Because, dude, people just get way too serious when it comes to sanctioned, it's softball in general. Sanctioned softball, man, you get into like the upper D level, the into the C level, and everybody thinks that today is the day they're going to go out and show out and get called up to play with Resmondo next week. You're going to see that bad motherfucker on the field, and the next video you see like this, he's going to be out there. That's how people walk around and carry themselves and think of themselves. They think they're that good. Been playing softball for a year and a half, and you won a 10-team tournament, so you're king shit now, right? Stuff like this without elaboration or explanation or some kind of breakdown or like, hey, we don't condone this, is not good for the game. It's just not. This video has 65,326 views. So that's 65,326 views, now 327 since we watched it, right? With no explanation, no definition of repercussion, nothing besides the fact that, like, look what happened at our tournament this weekend. This is coming to a field near you. And I've heard all kinds of inputs on this. I've heard, Travis Clark, fuck this whole situation up. Flip Washington needed to mind his own business. Well, Big John's just a bully because he did this and he did that. And there's a video of him doing this. And it just goes on and on. And, why is Harvey involved? What's Randy going to do? What are you going to do? You can't blame this on one person. You cannot, under any circumstance, blame that whole situation on one person. You just can't. If you think you can, sorry, but you're sadly mistaken. Everything from the way that the people involved reacted, the way the umpires responded, the way the players responded, there's more than one person at fault here, guys. Because I've heard everything from, like I said, this person did that, this person did this, this is why it went wrong. I gave my input on where I think it went wrong. It could have potentially still blown up. Yes, absolutely. And honestly, let's be honest. Given how softball is unfolding, especially at the conference level with the tempers and the way that people treat each other, it was bound to happen eventually, right? It just happened in that moment because of the way the series of events from multiple people involved unfolded. But I've also heard things like, he catches the ball and that don't happen. Okay, so you're right. Yeah, you are. He catches that ball, nothing happens. But who do you know that's catching an absolute shit rod at 110 miles an hour, tailing at their head? So again, I guess technically if you're, what I'll use in very loose quotes, blaming people, you could blame Record for not catching the ball. I feel like that's personally kind of ridiculous. Because things like that are sometimes just out of the player's control, right? He did everything he could, but how everybody responded with the situation was things that could be controlled. Right? You don't want to be, some people just can't handle being in the kitchen. They can't handle the heat and stay out of the kitchen. I'm going to tell you something. All these people that are standing around saying that man standing on that mound will shut you down. It's not that he can't play. It's not that he can't ball. Just the right situation happened and he got hit. But don't sit around and bash people. There's people commenting on this that don't even know who any of these guys are. These are the elite softball players of the game, right? And again, not saying people can't have opinions, but it's the narrow-minded opinions and not having an open mind for situations like that. It's aggravating. I've been ranting about this for way too long. We've hit our hour mark yet again. And I do feel like I'm talking in circles, but this whole situation really aggravates me to an extent that, like, it gets me. Because so many people refuse to look at both sides of a situation. I'm done. Thanks for stopping in, checking out the podcast. Anywhere you caught up with it. Swing hard in case you hit it. BP Hero catch you next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central. Swing hard in case you hit it. BP Hero catch you next time.